Hey folks, Tim Newman with Soft Light Studios, and it's time for another Adobe Photoshop CC quick tip. Today's quick tip is going to very quickly show you how to take the same image and have it available for editing in two side-by-side tabs. Really great way to zoom in and work on one area in image and get an idea of how it's going to affect the image overall in the other tab. Let's take a look at this. In this quick tip, we're going to take a look at a feature in Photoshop that I don't think gets used anywhere near often enough, and that is the ability to have multiple views of the same picture. So let's say, for instance, for this model right here, we're going to spend just a little bit of time doing some touch-up work on some of the blemishes on her face. And what we'd like to do is have one view where we're zoomed way in, so we're very careful and deliberate about our edits, but then we have this view that we have here that's zoomed out that gives us an idea of overall what does our work look like. So with this image open, we're simply going to come up here to Window, and then what we're going to do is go to Arrange, and then we are going to pick New Window for this file. So this file name right here will be provided by Photoshop from whichever tab is currently active. So now we have a second tab that has the same picture in it, and you note right away they are at two different zoom ratios. Now, in order to be able to see these side by side, we need to go back into the Window Arrange command and do a arrangement that makes sense for the images. And I think a 2-up vertical is the way to go here. It definitely shows them side by side. So now here is the image that we originally had zoomed in. This is our second copy of it, and we're going to come over here and make sure this is active by clicking on the tab. You can see the text here, and the tab is bright white, so we know that's the active tab. We're going to just click here to zoom into this, and we are going to keep zooming in until I think that we're at a zoom ratio that allows us to really easily see these blemishes that are here in the skin. And then I'm going to just hit the J key to bring up the spot healing brush that you see right here in the toolbar. And then I can come over here and start fixing some blemishes. And you'll notice immediately that the blemish is fixed here, and I might hit it a couple times just to blend in a little texture here. But you notice over here in this version of the image, it stays synced up with the image that we're currently editing on. So it shares the same history stack here. And if I say, well, I think this darker skin area right here could be lightened up, so I'll just hit the healing brush there a few times, kind of work my way around the forehead real quickly, just looking for little blemishes. And gosh, I certainly hope this model isn't offended by me doing the touch-up here. I think she's absolutely beautiful, but all of us have our little imperfections and uniquenesses that can benefit from a little bit of healing brush work or a little bit of spot brush work here in Photoshop. So I'm just going to go around and find a couple areas here in Photoshop in this image that I think would benefit from a little touch-up work. And these are fairly simple edits, either with the clone stamp tool or healing brush tool like I'm doing here. And I am cleaning up this image. And I'm looking for the obvious spots here and going ahead and touching those up. And I think it's plain to see that having this split view allows me to do two things. One is to make sure that the edits that I'm making here aren't too heavy-handed and not obvious when I'm zooming in on this photo, and that the view of this that is zoomed out allows me to see the overall effect of the edits that I'm making here. And we'll just spend just a few more seconds here just hitting a few more spots. And let me take a look down here on her neck real fast. This isn't really what I'd consider a blemish. I think it's just a mole there, but we're going to go ahead and take it out. And I think there are a couple more here, or they might just be freckles. I don't want to overstate that. And there you go. There is our image on the right that's showing the effect of our edits overall. And then here on the left, we can see a zoomed in edit. And I think there's maybe one more spot here on her neck that I would like to just clean up a touch. And maybe just a little bit more on her forehead. Just a couple of spots that I would like to take out of there. And I think you'll agree that this dual view is really a fantastic way to see this. Now, just a couple more things before we head out of here. As we've seen already, we can zoom in or out independent of one another. If I wanted to come over here and do that, I could do that. I can scroll around in the image independently in the two panels that are here. The other thing you'll note is that no matter where I go, either the image on the right or the image on the left, the history stack is in sync between those two windows. It's a shared history stack here. When I'm all done with either one of these, let's say I'm finished with all my edits here, I can close any one of these windows and then I'll just resize this one to fit, and all of those edits still stay in place. And if we just want a real quick before and after here of just this touch-up, and we didn't spend a lot of time on this, just take a look at the before and then take a look at the after. It just cleans up her face a little bit. It's very soft, but it doesn't change the countenance of who she is in the image. So there you go, the ability to see two images from the same file side by side, and that's all made possible by using window arrange and the new window command down here for whatever the active tab is. A couple more thoughts and we'll have you out of here. So there you have it, the new window for document shortcut in Photoshop, allowing you to have a document up in two different windows, zoomed into two different locations at different zoom ratios at the same time. I think you'll agree it's a really, really great way to do fine editing and still see the effect of your edits on the image overall. Hope that this quick tip was helpful for you. Please mash that red subscribe button down there below so you can keep up to date with what Softlight Studios is bringing out next. And remember, as we always say, learning equals skills, practice equals mastery. We'll see you out there.